Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Politics with Riley King. Let's begin. Eyeing White House run, Castro says Dems should not take 2018 and 2020 elections for granted. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Oh, you don't look so hot. Rough night? Ugh.
Oh, well, actually, that's the problem. You're on antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill the good bacteria as well as the bad, and that's bad news for your tummy, unless you use Florastor. Unlike many other probiotics, it's naturally resistant to antibiotics and protects the good bacteria in your body. So, take some Florastor. Doctors, well, my orders. Be biotic and drink plenty of fluids.
I believe that it's both the right and the winning agenda for the United States in the future.
Julian Castro says the future is progressive. Speaking at St. Anselm College Friday, the former HUD secretary encouraged students to get involved in their communities and then look for opportunities to lead.
People will always tell you to wait your turn. You don't have to listen to that.
Castro, seen as a young and rising star in the Democratic Party, may be taking his own advice later this year if he decides to launch a bid for the White House.
That I'm thinking about running in 2020, and I'm going to spend between now and November helping young progressive Democrats get elected across the country.
Sitting down for a taping of Close Up, Castro lamented the loss of life in the school shooting in Florida and called for universal background checks and stricter gun laws.
I also don't believe that these military-style weapons should be so easily available. These are weapons that are made to kill efficiently. So my hope is that Congress will actually have the courage to address this issue.
Secretary Castro is addressing a gathering of the New Hampshire Young Democrats tonight in Manchester. You'll be able to watch our full interview with Mr. Castro on Close Up Sunday morning at 10. Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Indictment details methods Russians used in meddle in election. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Good afternoon. A grand jury in the District of Columbia today returned an indictment presented by the Special Counsel's Office. The indictment charges 13 Russian nationals and 3 Russian companies for committing federal crimes while seeking to interfere in the United States political system, including the 2016 presidential election. The defendants allegedly conducted what they called information warfare against the United States, with the stated goal of spreading distrust towards the candidates and the political system in general. According to the allegations in the indictment, 12 of the individual defendants worked at various times for a company called Internet Research Agency, LLC, a Russian company based in St. Petersburg. The other individual defendant, Yevgeny Viktorovich Prigozhin, funded the conspiracy through company.
Okay, and there you go on some of that video and report. Now I will show you the article, and you can take a read at the article right now. And that is a look at the article as well. Trump responds to Mueller indictment news. Let's take a listen to the video.
Oh, you don't look so hot.
Rough night? Ugh. Oh, well, actually, that's the problem. You're on antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill the good bacteria as well as the bad, and that's bad news for your tummy, unless you use Florastor. Unlike many other probiotics, it's naturally resistant to antibiotics and protects the good bacteria in your body. So, take some Florastor. Doctors, well, my orders. Be biotic, and drink plenty of fluids.
Well, more than a dozen Russians charged today with an elaborate plot to interfere in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, aimed in part at helping President Trump win the White House.
Special Counsel Robert Mueller's office handed down the indictments today, and Fox 5's Anjali Hempel joining us now to break it all down. This is a huge story that broke late this afternoon.
Guys, it is. This indictment alleges a sophisticated and wide-ranging Russian effort to sway political opinion in the U.S. during the presidential primaries and general election. It also brings the first criminal charges against Russians believed to have secretly worked to influence the outcome.
This indictment serves as a reminder that people are not always who they appear to be on the internet. The indictment alleges that the Russian conspirators want to promote discord in the United States and undermine public confidence in democracy. We must not allow them to succeed.
Rod Rosenstein, who oversees the special counsel probe, at an earlier press conference, the 37-page indictment says the actions against 13 Russian nationals and 3 Russian companies date back to 2014. They are accused of posing as politically active Americans on social media to spread derogatory information about Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and also other Republican candidates during the primaries, while simultaneously supporting Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders and then Republican candidate Donald Trump.
They use stolen or fictitious American identities, fraudulent bank accounts, and false identification documents. The defendants posed as politically and socially active Americans, advocating for and against particular candidates. They established social media pages and groups to communicate with unwitting Americans. After the election, the defendants allegedly staged rallies to support the president-elect, while simultaneously staging rallies to protest his election. For example, the defendants organized one rally to support the president-elect and another rally to oppose him, both in New York on the same day.
President Trump reacting a little while ago on Twitter, tweeting, quote, "Russia started their anti-U.S. campaign in 2014 long before I announced that I would run for president. The results of the election were not impacted. The Trump campaign did nothing wrong, no collusion." Now, the DOJ has made clear that the indictment does not allege any American was a knowing participant in illegal activity and that any of this interference changed the outcome of the presidential race. If you want to read more, we've got the whole document, all 37 pages for you on our website, fox5dc.com. Anjali Hempel, Fox 5 Local News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Biden in public and private tiptoes toward a 2020 run. And I will show you the article right now. You guys can take a read. And that was the article. And that does it for this edition of Politics with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed this edition of Politics with Riley King. And I'll be back next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Have a great rest of your Sunday and have a great week.